Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Nay. If you are back, welcome back and welcome to Nay Kitchen and Gardening Adventures. So as you can see, we are in a different space than I normally record. This is the room where my seed starting station is. My seed starting station is right over there. I just wanted to come and bring you all along because we are going to be making DIY seed starting mix / potting soil, and we are going to be planting onions. So if you're interested, please stay tuned. So I decided to make my own seed starting mix this year because last year I feel like I just paid way too much money, and I had to keep on getting bags and bags and bags, and I had to fertilize really quickly. So I'm hoping that what I put in my seed starting mix, I won't have to use liquid fertilizer. I'm hoping throughout the entire time, especially as I start up-potting things. My up-potting mix will be similar, just with a little bit more nutrients in it. But this seed starting mix I'm going to be making is actually going to be very nutrient rich, I'm hoping. And I'm going to show you everything that I got for it. And yeah, so let me go ahead and get the materials, and I will show you everything that's going to be in the seed starting mix, and we will get started. First up, we have perlite. The reason why I end up getting perlite is because it helps, like it says on here, improves drainage and aeration. And when you are having seedlings, like, drainage is very important because you do not want water just in the bottom of your seedlings, or else they will drown the seeds and the seedlings themselves. So perlite is the first thing. The next thing I got was vermiculite. I got vermiculite because it helps retain moisture and nutrient, and it helps retain the nutrients that will be in whatever soil that you put in. So I got 2 8-quart bags of both the vermiculite and. Next, I have worm castings. Worm castings is going to give some nutrients. It's not going to give a lot, but it's definitely going to improve the nutrients of the seed starting mix. So, got worm casting. I have this Biotone Plus starter. I had grabbed this while it was on sale when Epic Gardening was having a sale, so I thought about putting some of this in there. So I'm still debating. I might put some of this in there. If not, then it will be for something else. But yeah, so this is a possibility. What I specifically got for my seed starting mix is this. This is Dr. Earth's organic and natural all-purpose fertilizer. I've heard really good things about this, so I wanted to put some of this in my seed starting mix. And it's always good just to have a good all-purpose fertilizer. I also have some I have garden tone as well, but I'm going to put some of this in my seed starting. And last but not least, I have this. This is a 10-pound brick of cocoa coir. So this is going to be my base of my seed starting mix. I chose cocoa coir because I believe it is all natural and is way better than peat moss from what I've understood. So I wanted to make this my base, and I wanted to put everything else as amendments in it to be able to help give my seedlings the nutrients that I need. So we're going to be using this huge 10-pound brick, and we're going to put it in a container, put some water in it, and just measure with our hearts with all the other things. So yeah, so let's go ahead and make this mix. So I have this bucket. I'm pretty sure this 10-pound brick is going to be way too much for this, so I think I'm going to split the brick in half and then go from there. And yeah, we're gonna experiment together. So let's see how this goes, guys. Alright, so here I am just adding water, and you'll see that I have to go back and forth of adding water. And I forgot if you're supposed to do boiling water or not. I didn't do boiling water. I just did the highest temperature of water that I could. And I don't know if you can tell, maybe not in this clip, but maybe in another clip, that there was like literal steam coming from the water that I poured in, because that's how hot the water is. Because you need to be able to, I believe, disinfect the cocoa core. I know you're supposed to add hot water to cocoa core, and I don't know if that's to help it puff up a little bit more or not. Here I'm using a rake tool, and you saw me using my hands earlier. I'm just breaking up the cocoa core as much as I can. It was hard, and I tried to split it, I couldn't, so I ended up just using a rake. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just continually adding water, as you'll see. And I'm just adding like 2 cups at a time, because I didn't want to add too much at one time. But after a while, I'm like, okay, I just need to like continue to grab this. So I put 2 more cups of water, so that's 4 cups in general. And I think I just keep on adding water at some point. I will say that if you are going to do this, and if you do end up getting the seed starting mix stuff, which I can link that down below for you guys, definitely get something bigger than, I think this was a 32 ounce or gallon, I forgot what it was, but either way I think it was a 32 gallon. That is too small for what I had. So if you're gonna get something like this, get the 50-gallon one. I've seen people use a 50-gallon one, and I understand why. Please get the 50-gallon one, because I couldn't even fit all of my seed starting mix in there. And like currently, the other part of the cocoa core brick that I haven't used is next to my seed starting bin, because I couldn't use it. at all because it was too much, and then because there was so much moisture in there, it started to get a little bit moldy. I took care of that, and yeah, so everything's good. I've been using it. It's been working out great. So, but yeah, if you can get a 50-gallon bucket, definitely do that because you'll probably be able to fit everything in here. So, right now I'm just scraping the cocoa core and everything like that, and when I get to the amendments, I will let you know what's happening. Alright, so here I have my worm castings, and I love worm castings because they add nutrition to your soil without being like such a heavy fertilizer. I put this in my planting hole when I plant seedlings out, and as you can see, I was struggling. Don't judge me, please. I was struggling getting that bag open. But anyway, I love worm castings, and I got this from, I think, Home Depot. But right now, if you go to Costco, like at the time of me filming this video, if you go to Costco, you can find, I think, a 12-pound bag of worm castings for $20, maybe. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. But you can get a big bag of worm castings for a lot of money. So I think here I was struggling to open bags, so I wanted to go find me some scissors, probably. Yeah. I think that's what was happening. I was trying to find me some scissors, cause y'all, the bags weren't open, and I was getting irritated. So yeah, but I'll be back in a second. But I did add, I don't think I showed it, but I did add perlite, the vermiculite. I probably added about like 2.5 cups of worm castings. Maybe about a fourth of that bag of perlite and a fourth of the bag of vermiculite. And if I felt like I just needed more, I just went based off of that, because like I said, we go and measure with our heart. This is like cooking. Sometimes you gotta add more than what you think, sometimes you gotta add less than what you think, but that's my rule. And I did use a measuring cup for the worm casting specifically. Okay, so from here, that looks like 1 and 2, and I know I add more worm castings than that. Yeah, I add more than that. And then I added the perlite and the vermiculite, but I don't think I ended up showing it here. But yeah, I used about a fourth of the bag of each. So if you're going to use that, I would use that. Alright, so here I am done with my seed starting mix. I'll touch on it a little bit previously. Like I said, I added about a fourth of each bag. and you see the other half of the cocoa core brick is right there. So for about 5 pounds of the cocoa core, I added about 3.5 cups of worm castings, a fourth of a bag of vermiculite, and fourth of a bag of perlite. So here I am filling up my containers that I'm going to start my onions in. I will be multi-sowing my onion seeds here, and I'm doing that so that way, one, there is less space that I have to take up and I can sow more, and two, I only had but so many 6L seed trays, so I didn't want to use those 6L seed trays for the onions. I am starting my onions late here. I'm starting them in February. I was supposed to start them in January, but my seed starting station didn't get up one time because of something on my part. But it's okay because we're going to keep on rolling with it. But I am filling up about 4 here. Then I realized I needed 6 because I realized I was starting 3 different types of onions. So I am starting 2 white onions and 1 red onion. So I'll show you what I will be starting soon. But yeah, so in this upcoming clip, I realized that I didn't start. I didn't have enough things to start all my onions, so I'm just gonna be filling that up. Alright, so here I am starting. This is a Calibra onion I got from Johnny's. This is the red carpet onion I also got from Johnny's. And this is the Patterson onion. So I got all my onion seeds from Johnny's. I decided to go with this because the Calibra, I know it's an intermediate day, and I think that's what's better for my area, but I'm not sure because it's my first year ever growing onions. So I ended up getting the Calibra onions because they are intermediate day, and the red carpet and the Patterson are long day. I just wanted to compare and contrast to see which one would do better in my area, so I would just know for sure. But here I am multi-sowing the top of the onions, so that way I can get more in there. Now what I'm thinking, because this is maybe like a month or so after I have done this, I think next year what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some soil blockers, and I'm going to just soil block my onions and see how those do, because let me tell you something, the red onions specifically did poorly. The yellow onions, they're good. I feel like a lot of them didn't germinate as I would like them to, but I'm going to end up just getting some onion plants, so it's no big deal. But at least I tried, and I'm determined to start my onions from seed next year as well, and I want to start earlier. That's also the thing. It is currently March right now, so I'm going to put my onions out in my garden next month, just because my garden just isn't up at the moment. So that's my plan. But yeah, I do like the multi-sowing method. I think it works, but I just want to try something new next year. So that's why I want to try soil blocking and doing an onion per soil block to see how that does. To see how that does. And I may try this method next year. I think I am going to start more onion seeds, like more in numbers next year compared to this year. So that way I have more of an insurance policy. But that's for next year. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, so I am just putting each onion variety in each, and it's easy for me to know. That's why I don't have labels, because I have the red in the middle, and then I have one onion variety and one and another white onion variety in the other. So that's how I didn't get confused about what was what. And what I'm about to do now is I am about to go ahead and cover the onions seeds with a light layer of soil. You don't want to do too much because you don't want to bury the seeds too deeply, but you do want to be able to cover the seeds up with soil slightly, so that way once you water that it has good soil to moisture contact. Soil to seed with the moisture, and everything comes together. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm going to do that for every single onion variety in every single container. Alright guys, that's the video. So I have my onions here, my onion seeds. I'm going to spray some water. I'm going to put them on my shelf with my lights and my heat mat and the humidity dome, and I will get them started. And yeah, so that's the end of this video. Thank you much for watching. If you have any questions, put them down below. Are you growing onions from seeds or from sets or from, what is it? I know it's seeds, sets, and something else. But if you're growing onions, let me know what variety that you are growing. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!